We're 300 kilometres north of the Arctic Circle, where humpback whales patrol the waters and inspect the passing traffic. This is one of the most remote and extreme regions on the planet. It's also thought to hold the world's largest reserves of untapped oil. Welcome to the new frontier of offshore exploration. These are the first pictures of the Arctic's new enterprise. 200 kilometres off the west coast of Greenland, in an area known locally as Iceberg Alley. A British company, Cairn Energy, has begun drilling the first of what they hope will be 4 exploration wells. And as well as the main platform, they have a second drilling ship ready to begin a relief well immediately in the event of a leak. And all around, what they call the ice management vessels, equipped to physically tow icebergs away from the rig site.
These support vessels, they ring, if you like, the drill ships in a if you like, a safety zone. And in the event that an iceberg enters that safety zone, then they effectively tow it out of the way.
But drilling here in these pristine Arctic waters has been condemned by environmental groups as bitterly disappointing. They say the ecological damage from any mishap would be measured in decades. An oil spill in these waters would be catastrophic for this fragile ecosystem. The sea here is so cold that, unlike the Gulf of Mexico, where the oil is rising to the surface and able to be dispersed or skimmed off, here the oil would break down much more slowly, so it would tend to stay below the surface in a deep and viscous slick. And unlike the Gulf of Mexico, a world hub of oil expertise, this is where a Greenland spill response would have to be mounted. Aside from the new containers, the pace of life in Aasiaat has altered little in the last hundreds of years. Fishing remains the only real industry. Nationally, it makes up more than 90% of Greenland's annual exports. Goodman Fleischer has worked 3 decades here as a hunter-fisherman. He told us he is anxious about the prospect of the coming oil future.
I am very afraid about the drilling, as it's in a place where the fish and the seals and the whales used to live. I have seen the pollution in the Gulf of Mexico, and I am very afraid of what is going to happen here, and to the fishermen.
If there is to be an oil industry here, it would likely be this future generation who would take it on. But it will take time now to determine if there is oil off Greenland and whether it's economically and environmentally viable to exploit it. But global demand is not decreasing, so these last frontiers are where the industry is inevitably heading. The age of easy oil, so they say, is over, and this is where the difficult decisions will have to be made.